Kenya government rejects returning Nnamdi Kanu to their country. And you begin to ask why. That was what the court said. But of course, before they quickly went to go and do their abracadabra, Malami, it took 1 week. And I was surprised why it took 1 week, because I'm sure they were really working so hard before they could come up with, okay, we reject this. Of course, they rejected the court appeal ruling. They rejected it, but they didn't do anything about it until after 1 week before they said they now went back to court, because that was what the court said, that he should be returned back to Kenya or to the UK. And we don't even know how, the game the Kenya government and UK government, the game these guys are playing. And you know that by virtue of returning Nnamdi Kanu to Kenya, if the Nigerian government had done that, that means it will indict the Kenya government the more, because the Kenyan government is telling us that they did nothing about the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu. How is that possible? If really UK is serious about this whole thing, they would have fished this whole thing out. They would have done the needful. They are the ones that are supposed to even take up this matter. But they are just playing games. They are just trying to, they are neither here nor there. The man that dies in Nigeria, a US man that died in Nigeria, does it mean the man does not have a Nigerian passport? Or does it mean the man is not a citizen of Nigeria anymore because he obtained a American passport? When the man died, the man that was killed in Ogbomoso that had an hotel, if they were to judge by that, they wouldn't even have come in the first place to go and take the man's corpse from Nigeria back to the UK, to the US, I mean. So why is UK playing this kind of a game? They are the ones that are supposed to be on top of this Nnamdi Kanu's case. So the reason why the Kenyan government would not want to get or take Nnamdi Kanu back is because they are going to indict themselves. And thank God for the lawyers, they are really trying their best. And I'm sure that this Malami and Buhari, they knew quite all right that if the only thing they just needed is just for them to be able to get Nnamdi Kanu into Nigeria, and the rest, because they know that even international community will not even be able to do much, because that is when Nigeria will not be telling you that they are a sovereign country, they are a sovereign country. But when you look at the genesis, how this man was brought into the country, it was very wrong, and it is clear to everybody. It is clear to everybody, but they don't want to do anything. They knew quite well that it's going to be hard for this man to be, to be taken on outside Nigeria. All they needed to do was just to bring him. And now the Kenya government is playing what I don't understand. That is why they will not want Nnamdi Kanu to be brought, because automatically it will affect them. But if we are in a sane environment, because even the word, most of the time when people talk about, oh, we are calling on the international community, we are calling on the UK, we are calling on the US. See, the way and manner at which Nigeria is going, they love it because they are reaping from it. Nobody is going to help anybody. No country is coming to help anybody. Human beings are always selfish. So when something is working against some people to their own benefit, at the detriment of other people, you think they will leave their own problem, or they will leave what they are gaining to come and help you. But that does not take the fact away that, of course, Nigeria is not is not acting in isolation in the whole world. There are some things that Nigeria signed treaty with other country. I think that's the reason why some people always call for international community and what have you. There's something that Nigeria will do. If the UN, if they are sincere, they will sanction Nigeria. They know it because they cannot stand alone. You see what happened in Ukraine and Russia, when a lot of countries started sanctioning them. They are a sovereign country, they are a powerful country. But why is it that our own case is always different? Our own case is always different. The reason why everything is going the way it's going is because people are not ready to say the truth. People are not ready to toe the line of truth, but just to continue to lie. But let's see how far it's going to take them. I just believe that Kenya, no matter what, no matter how long it's going to take, they cannot escape this. They won't escape it. because there's a shady process in that regard. There's a shady process. They are involved, whether the government or whether some people, or that is to tell you how porous, because the government cannot just completely exonerate itself. Some people did a shady work without the government, but the government of Kenya would have been more explicit in explaining what happened if they know nothing about it. The question we've been asking is that if you have all the evidence against this man, why is it that you are always going back and forth, back and forth? I remember the former CGN, Sanko, saying that most of the cases brought by the federal government is not their own fault because the government cannot even substantiate and give evidence of those things that they've brought to the court, because most of the people that are supposed to come and testify in court, they will not come and they have no choice than to adjourn the cases. So the problem should not be put on them. Try to exonerate the judiciary. And you begin to ask yourself, this case has been on since 2015 as far as I know, and yet there's no headway. At the end of the day, one day, they will still release him. And you just begin to wonder that all these years that you have wasted. And that's why most of the time the court will say, you have to compensate him, you have to pay him, you have to do this, you have to do that. Like Shore's case now, he's just still hanging in the air. They cannot move forward, they cannot move back. The only thing they just did is for him to be able to, they release him so that he can move out of Abuja. He has been restricted to Abuja for close to how many years? Dasuki now, nobody's hearing anything about Dasuki's case. Dasuki that was held in custody or in the prison for 4 years. At the end of the day, they just let him go. They say, what? Even the Ezazaki case, I don't even know how far that case is going. They kept somebody there without anything. They, at the end of the day, say discharged and acquitted. The case is not even fully finalized or cleared. And that is exactly what is happening with Nnamdi Kanu's case. Every day, a journey, but you never see them going to court with all these the so-called terrorists and bandits in that region. None of them. The only thing you hear that some of them have been arrested. Before you could say Jack Robinson, they've been released. And that is the end of the story. But it's only Nnamdi Kanu that they want to prove that they did no book, that they learn work. But the board of contention now is the issue of Kenya, because they don't want Nnamdi Kanu to be returned, because it will implicate them the more. We live in a world that is full of lies. People see black and call it evil, and call it a white. See good and call it evil. So guys, let's hear your opinion and have your take on this. Thank you.